NBC Sports, home of the Olympic Games, the NHL, the Indianapolis 500, Premier League, and Primetime's #1 show, Sunday Night Football, only on NBC.
Welcome to Football Night in America on Thanksgiving night, presented by Lowe's.
Hope you had a great day. It's a spectacular night in Atlanta, Georgia, as you look at the beautiful Mercedes-Benz Stadium. For the 102nd time, we'll see the all-time meeting of the NFL rivals in the South head-to-head, as 2016 NFL MVP Matt Ryan leads the Atlanta Falcons against Super Bowl champion Drew Brees and the 9-2 New Orleans Saints. It's Sunday Night Football on Thanksgiving, and we are so happy you've welcomed us into your homes on this Thanksgiving. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison, Michelle Tafoya will join us in a bit. Guys, with a win, the Saints win the NFC South, and they are on an upward spiral here, Rodney. They're 9-2. Michael Thomas on a record-setting pace. Drew Brees back from the thumb injury. Anything else you want to see from New Orleans?
I like to see more big plays down the field. Ever since Drew Brees hurt his thumb, they're not throwing the ball down the field. They're settling for check down, short, and intermediate routes. If they want to make a run in this playoffs, they have to push the ball down the field, Mike.
And you mentioned Matt Ryan's MVP season. That year they had the Falcons had a devastating running attack. This year they're next to the last in the NFL. They've got to get that going tonight. Devontae Freeman and Brian Hill have to be a factor tonight running the football.
Well, they had that running attack and everything going 2.5 weeks ago when these teams met in New Orleans. The Falcons were 1-17, and you love the way they were able to get this game established on the ground.
They're trying to get the ball to the running backs, to the wide receivers. They talk about being more bold. So when you're a desperate team, I expect anything from the Falcons.
And they got the ball outside in the running game. That was the key that first time around. We talked to Bernie Parmalee, the running back coach. They want to do that again tonight. Get the ball outside and get Matt Ryan comfortable.
Matt Ryan threw 2 touchdowns in the game. They built a double-digit lead, and their defense, which had been very poor the first half of the season, really stepped up in this game.
Well, the key is getting pressure on Drew Brees, and they did a phenomenal job. They had 6 sacks, just pressuring him, making him uncomfortable, coach, and just rattling him.
And it wasn't blitzes. It was coverage and 4-man rush, just devastating effort, and that's what they're going to have tonight. That's what they're going to have to do, put that pressure on Brees without blitzing.
Well, Rodney mentioned it. They had 6 sacks. They had 7 sacks in the first 8 games of the season before this one, but that pressure, especially up the middle on Drew Brees, part of the story, a 26-9 loss. Now, very different looking teams for this matchup 2.5 weeks later. For more on that, happy Thanksgiving to Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Not so happy for Julio Jones. The Atlanta wide receiver has been dealing with a shoulder injury all week. Didn't practice much. He is inactive tonight. Last-minute decision and a big one. But running back Devontae Freeman is back. He's missed the last couple of weeks with a sprained foot, so that's the good news. As for the Saints, left tackle Teron Armstead suffered a high ankle sprain last week and will be replaced by Patrick Omameh. He will be making his first ever NFL start at that position. On defense, they get back Marshawn Lattimore. He missed the last couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. So, Mike, pluses and minuses for both of these teams.
Yeah, lots of injuries these teams have to deal with on a short week. Alvin Kamara is getting healthy. He's from 20 minutes from here. He's back in his hometown on Thanksgiving. Calvin Ridley's been red hot for the Falcons. We'll see him.
Welcome back to Football Night in America on Thanksgiving night, presented by Lowe's.
Hey, Mike Tirico, Zach Brown here with the Zach Brown Band. We're getting set for the perfect Thanksgiving. We got food, we got family, we got football, and we got our guitars because we're getting ready to cook up a little tune for everyone to jam to. Right here from Atlanta, Falcons, Saints, and us, Zach Brown Band. Coming up in just a bit.
All right, so Zach Brown Band's going to start it, and we finish with the turkey legs and the game balls that Michelle Tafoya will pass out, a tradition that has continued, and the Saints got to do last year when they beat the Falcons in New Orleans on Thanksgiving. Time now to simplify the game, powered by Microsoft Surface. Let's go through the highlights of the first 2 games. David Blau, undrafted from Purdue, makes his NFL debut on Thanksgiving for the Lions against the Bears. Here's his first ever completion.
he thinks the game is pretty easy right now, but this is Kenny Golladay on a double move beating Prince of Mukamara.
Yeah, and Matt Patricia, reason to smile. Enjoy that moment. David Blau. Lions blew a double-digit lead. It's been part of their story this season. And Mitchell Trubisky, who needed a big game, came up big late, Tony.
Oh, he was huge in the fourth quarter. 2 big third-down throws to Anthony Miller that got them in scoring position.
And it set up the touchdown on 2nd and goal to David Montgomery, the rookie's first ever touchdown reception in the NFL. So Chicago leads by 4. Bears desperately trying to get to 6-6. Can Lowe bring them back? It would be a Clint Longley-like Thanksgiving tale told for years. Amendola couldn't bring this in.
Yeah, it hits his hands. I felt like he should have caught it, but tough catch.
And after a sack, 4th down, gotta have it. Eddie Jackson comes up with the interception. Matt Nagy and the Bears, 6-6. Very important win. They play Dallas next week. Game many of you just watched. Jason Garrett in battles during the week. It's going to be a longer week as Buffalo comes up big, down 7-0. A touchdown for Cole Beasley.
Yeah, good job by Josh Allen moving to the right, finding the former Cowboy.
A sweet score on Thanksgiving against his old team. Dak Prescott pressured here, sacked. The fumble's recovered by Trent Murphy of the Bills.
Yeah, Ed Oliver, big-time rush there to create the turnover.
And Bills go into the bag of tricks here.
A little reverse pass, and they're just having fun out there. Where's the defense at, Coach?
Well, that was a variation of the Philly special, this time just to a running back.
John Brown threw it. Devin Singletary caught it, and the Bills lead. Take that lead to halftime, and now the pressure really mounting on Dallas. Maybe it manifests itself here. Brett Maher, usually a sure thing, missed 2 field goals on the day, and Buffalo exploded in the second half.
And this is what we see from Josh Allen week in and week out. Just a big guy, great athleticism, and nobody wants to hit him. And he makes the Buffalo Bills very dangerous.
And Jerry going to be talking a lot about what happened to Dallas this week. Simplify the game, powered by Microsoft Surface, the official sideline technology provider of the NFL. So what does that mean? Let's look at the Buffalo side of this. They remain 2 back in the loss column from New England. They go to Foxborough week 16. But in the wild card, they get a huge advantage now, up at least a couple of games on the rest of the chasers in the AFC. Now, the NFC side, Dallas is 6-6. That only path is going to be as division champ. Philadelphia, a half game back going in. But, Tony, there will be significant pressure on the Cowboys next Thursday night in Chicago.
There is. It's going to be a long week, and I have a message. You're okay. Your season is going to come down to going to Philadelphia and getting a win in Week 16. Focus on that.
And Jerry just said a coaching change would give them 0% chance of making the playoffs. What about Buffalo here, Rodney?
I got to tell you, Mike, I got to apologize to the Buffalo Bills fans because I said they're going to be one and done. But this is a very good team. They got a young quarterback who's playing extremely well. They have a tough defense. And if I'm a wild card team, I don't want to play the Buffalo Bills.
On the big stage, the Buffalo Bills come up big. We are set for Game 3 of Thanksgiving 2019. It's one of the great rivalries in the NFL. The Saints and the Falcons coming up from Atlanta.